Okay, I love this lesson. And this lesson is one that a lot of people think is really difficult, but trust me, this lesson is so easy. We've already been solving equations. We know the rules. You have to do the same thing we have to do the opposite to get rid of something. We have to do it on both sides. We combined those two rules down into one pretty easy phrase: cross the line, change the sign, right? So today that's what we're going to do. And the bad news is, as you're looking at this, you're probably thinking, wow, that is a lot of letters. Like, this looks like it's going to be impossible. Trust me, it's going to be so easy. It's going to be so easy. You know why? You're not even going to have to figure out what two numbers add up to today. You're not going to have to divide, multiply. It's going to be so easy. All you have to do is move, cross the line, change the sign. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to write each one of these down here. And I would encourage you, if you're working along, to write these on your whiteboard as well. All right? And what I want to do is I want to solve each one of these equations for x. Okay? So I want to solve it for x. Now, it doesn't always have to be x, but we would look in our instructions, and I forgot to write down instructions for this, and so we're just going to solve each one of these for x. Now, in order for me to solve this for x, here's what I need. I need that x to be all alone, to be isolated by itself on one side of the equal sign. All right, so if I want that x to be by itself, what do I need to get rid of? I need to get rid of that m. Well, how do I do that? Cross the line, change the sign. That easy. That's m times x, right? M times x. So what's the opposite of times? Divide. So let's just move the m to the other side. Let's just divide the m to the other side. So I'm going to move this m over here and divide it. And look what I have. I've got x isolated all by itself. I'm done. That's it. X equals y divided by m. Y over m. That's it. Let's look at the next one. Y equals mx plus b. I'm going to write this down here again. Okay. Solve it for x. Now, just like if there were numbers in here, we would have to get rid of the thing that's away from the x first. So I'm going to get rid of that plus b. Well, cross the line, change the sign. What's the opposite of plus b? Minus b. Let's just erase this and subtract it to the other side. So minus b. All right, it was a plus b on the right. Cross the line, change it to a minus b. That's it. Okay, now all I have left to get rid of is that m. That's an m times x. So what's the opposite of times? Divide. Let's just divide it to the other side. See how easy this is? Let's take that m and let's just divide it to the other side. And look what we've got. We have x isolated all by itself. That's our answer. See how easy this is? So you were scared at first with all those letters, but it's no problem. Just move all the other letters. Cross the line, change the sign. Let's do this one. Okay, again, we are solving this for x. 3xy plus z equals a. Well, first thing you have to do is get rid of what's away from the x. We got to get rid of that z. So let's cross the line, change it. That's a plus z. So we're going to just subtract it to the other side. Minus z. All right, now, if I'm solving for the x, well, we could do this in one step, or we could do it in two. Let's do it in two for right now. Let's get rid of that y first. Okay, let's get rid of the y while we're at it. So that's x times y. So what's the opposite of y, of times y? Well, divide by y. So just divide this to the other side. All right? Now we just need to get rid of the 3. That's 3 times x. So what's the opposite of times? Going to divide. We need to divide the 3 to the other side. So once again, we've already got our fraction bar in there. We don't need to write another one. We just need to write it on the bottom because we're dividing by 3. That's our answer. A minus z over 3y. That's what x equals. That's pretty easy. Let's do 2 more. While we're at it, these are so easy. 3x plus ab equals c over z. Now, this is a problem because we're solving this for x. We've got to get only the x there. But we know how to do this. We've seen this before. Maybe not with all these letters, but we've seen this before. X is locked up in the top of a fraction, right? And we can't do anything else with this until we unlock that fraction, get rid of it. So we're going to need to move that C to the other side. This means divide by C. It's on the bottom of a fraction, so we're dividing by C. So cross the line, change the sign. So instead of divided by C, let's just multiply this to the other side. So that's going to be Z times C. Okay, now we've got to get to the X. So what can we get rid of? Let's get rid of that plus AB. What's the opposite of plus AB? Cross the line, change it to a minus AB. Right? That's no problem at all. And look at this. We're down to one step left. How do we get rid of that C? Or, I'm sorry, how do we get rid of that 3? Almost a yawner here. Oh, so easy, right? That's 3 times X. So what's the opposite of times? Divide. You got it. So let's divide that 3 to the other side. Divide the 3. X is isolated. It's by itself. So here's our answer. Z times C minus AB divided by 3. Awesome. Let's do one more. Got to solve this one for X. 7AB plus 4XYZ equals 8. You are not going to believe how fast this one is going to go. Don't blink or you might miss it. So we've got 7AB plus 4XYZ. So right there, that's what we're solving. And I've got this whole chunk of stuff over here not connected to the X in any way. So we should just be able to add or subtract it. So what's it going to be? Well, that's a positive 7AB. So let's just cross the line and change it to a negative. Subtract the 7AB over. Okay, did you catch that? It wasn't with the X. All we were doing was adding and subtracting it. So let's just subtract it to the other side. Cross the line, change the sign. Okay, so now we've got 4 times X times Y times Z. Now, they're all together. It's all multiplication. And if it's all multiplication, what's the opposite of all multiplication? It's going to be all division. So watch this. Let's just divide the 4 over. Let's just divide the y over because that's still multiplication. So let's just divide the y over. And let's just divide the z over too. Look at that. Our x is by itself. It's isolated. We are done. We're finished. All right, so through this lesson, I hope you see it's really pretty simple. We've got all those letters, but don't be distracted by them. Just look at the x, okay, or whatever other letter you may be solving for. All right, move what's away first. Think of it just like a two-step equation. You're probably going to add or subtract first. Then you're going to have to multiply or divide. But just move things, and we know how to move them. Cross the line, change the sign. All right, I know you've got this. No problem. Good luck.